Hello, welcome to Revelator Alpha, another radio podcast thing. Yes, look, that thing up there. Today's show is it's going to be a bit of a shorter one, and I'll tell you why. There's some news that I'm waiting on. I've just been tuning into a couple of press releases just now. I'm waiting on more news for today from Harley Davidson in particular, but so I may come on again later on today if that news develops. But there's a couple of things I wanna go through today. But I've also got the chat all lined up as well. So yeah, I'm getting quite professional at this now, aren't I? So I will monitor that and see if you got any questions. Feel free to ask any questions, whatever you want to. And I'm going to be talking about Harley Davidson 2023 today. When are these new bikes going to come out, and when do you expect them to come out? And not the ones that have just been released. I'm talking about the 2023 brand new motorcycles that we don't know yet, right? January the 18th. And when will they actually arrive for you to view, to go and try out in the dealerships, and also to buy? What's the lead time going to be? Okay, I'm also going to be talking about the Pan America 975 and where the biggest threat to the success of that model is going to come from for 2023. But I'm also going to be talking about, as I've said in previous other shows, I'm going to be talking about one of Harley Davidson's main competitor in the cruiser and the touring lineup, I believe, for 2023 is from BMW as well. So I'm going to get into all of that I'm going to get into all of that for the next the next half an hour, the next hour, however long this takes. As I say, I've got more stuff coming later on this afternoon or this evening. So I just want to make sure that is finalised. That is, I can verify it before I bring it onto the show as well. But let's just start off with this mob first, shall we? Okay, BMW have been making waves, I think, for the last few months, I suppose. They've kind of been talking a little bit about releasing a bit more information. They've expanded into different markets. They've had collaborations with different companies from different countries, let's say from India as well. They've just released new information here about BMW in India selling many more motorcycles over there in that market that they never really sold before, up 40% more than the previous year. And most of these motorcycles are the 310 GS310R, 310RR, and GS310. They are selling some of the bigger bikes as well, but most of it is from there. So I mean, this isn't really the story which I wanted to talk about, but here we know, now it seems that everybody is having an anniversary year at the moment. Obviously Harley Davidson, right? 120th. Well, it's also BMW's 100-year edition, and they bought out two motorcycles for 2023, I should say, and basically that is the 2023, you've got the R18, and they've also got the R9T, and this is just, I mean, it looks nice. I mean, the R18, I think, especially with this this new exhaust here, looks really nice. I mean, they've got this kind of burgundy seat. Both bikes, the R9T, I mean, just look at it. I mean, it does look nice. I've got to give it props, really. I do like it, the R18. But also the R9T, that's coming out there as well. There's a picture of it side by side as well. You can see, that looks pretty darn nice as well, I've got to say. So, some people were kind of asking me a while ago, so, how long have you liked BMW? Well, so I like all bikes, right? I like all manufacturers. But I've got to say, it's, for me, it was only when they brought out the R9T series. I can't remember how many years ago they bought those at BMW, that I really start to take note of BMW, and they start to produce bikes that I thought, oh, quite interesting. But here now, I say from Harley Davidson's main competitor in the cruiser lineup and also in the Tourer line of 2018. And so I made videos about this in the past, in that I think, they're coming on strong. They're coming in on budget as well. BMW usually coming on a bit prices. I'm talking about base level here, right? They're coming on a little bit better on price. And this 100th-year anniversary edition, these two new bikes are really nice. They're really nice bikes. So obviously, depending on where you are in the world and the availability of these, but I mean they look really nice. I mean, these are just the photos I've just shown you in the and this is all from the press kit basically. Now, BMW have also got an R12 coming out this year as well. Now, one of the big things that they've also just unveiled, well, they haven't unveiled. It's very, very interesting, okay? Let me just see where it is, this one. This is from Visor Down, if it ever comes through. Now, let me just make sure that... right, hold on one second. Yes, there we go. I just want to make sure. Let us know how the signal is coming through as well. I've just got onto the main one, so hopefully the signaling is okay. Let us know what the sound is like. Let us know what the picture quality is like. I'm also doing lots of testing in the background as well. But anyway, let's get back onto this. So from Visor Down, but this has actually come out in various different publications, that BMW have put on a cryptic Instagram photo of a motorcycle underneath some covers. Now, various publications of Visor Down have basically said, oh yes, this could be this R13 GS Adventure, the brand new adventure bike that they're planning for 2023. The problem with this picture here is maybe you cannot see it so much. Where you got the front and the hoop, it looks as if there's a hoop going all the way around and also at the back as well. So that's kind of distorting what the actual features of this bike are. It could be that this is the R1300 GS, the bigger one. I think they've actually, one of the reasons they want to bring out this 1300 GS, which will be another competitor for the Pan America 1250 from Harley Davidson and all the other big ADV producers, of course. A lot of this is to do with emissions control and future emissions controls as well. And feel that they can overcome this by just a bigger engine as well. We'll wait to see what has happened. There's no official statement from BMW Motorrad apart from this cryptic clue. There's nothing off their media sites. There's nothing like that. So watch out for 2023 BMW coming out with new motorcycles, because they will be coming out new motorcycles. There is this other R12 that they've been talking about. Now, whether this is it, and whether they've just put hoops over the top of it to mask what the actual outline is hard to say. But if you look at the back of the picture, just behind the BMW logo, there does seem to be a bit of a square outline out there, which would indicate some kind of panniers or boxes there as well. So this indeed could be the 1200 adventure bike ball. So watch out for that R12 coming out later. And also, I believe at BMW have got a couple more bikes coming out for 2023 as well. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. But let's say they are, as I say, I think BMW, from their point of view, they're going to have a decent year. They're going to have a good year. Not only in the United States and Canada, which is like an emerging market for them, even more so. Certainly in Europe, BMW are always very strong, but in other parts of the world as well. And I think with the new bikes that are going to come out, my only concern with BMW and this 1300 is the market moving away from the big ADVs and going to the smaller bikes. And that's where you could argue that they could come a little bit unstuck with this model here as well. But anyway, that is all BMW, and let's see if they succeed with that. Okay, what else is in the news? Okay, so in the news today has been, well, it's not so much in the news today, but it's there's been various reports from many publications, not only here in Europe, but in the United States, but also around the world in general. Okay, so I've picked out one or two, but essentially what they're talking about is this. So, Ducati with their Desert X. This is the bike that they released last year, the Ducati Desert X, and basically it's the kind of rally raid inspiration ADV that they've come out. And I'm going to tell you why this bike is important for 2023, because it kind of symbolizes everything that I've been talking about for the last few years in terms of big adventure bikes, in that come down a little bit smaller, make them a bit more narrow, a bit more lightweight, and you're going to have a super powerful bike, very, very capable, easier to handle, and more suited to more challenging off-road environment. So this is the Ducati Desert X, right? 21-inch front wheel, 18-inch rear. It's got long stroke suspension and a new frame designed specifically for the off-road experience, right? If you've been to any of the shows, you would have seen this bike, and this is where I see many of the publications not jumping the gun, but they're taking a bit of a leap here in that, so they think that 2023 is going to be a big year for this bike here. And on the face of it, it's hard to argue against. But what I think is really important to understand that quite a few other manufacturers have that 800, 900cc type adventure bike. Triumph have a couple, 850 and the 900. KTM have quite a few bikes in that area as well. Ducati have really taken a big step forward, not only with the engine specification on this, but also the performance and the qualities of it. But then if you bring in Harley Davidson into the mix, we know obviously they've got the Pan America 1250, which you would say is in competition with the bigger ADVs from Triumph, the Tiger 1200, the BMW 1250 GS, but obviously now the 2023 1300 that is planned to come out. So what about the Pan America 975? Where is the main competition going to come for that bike? Well, the main competition for the Pan America 975 is this bike here, is the Desert X. And yes, they've got, it's also got lots of competition from all those other brands, the KTMs, Triumphs, who've got those smaller but mid-size, mid to heavyweight, let's say, ADVs. Whereas here, Ducati with their Desert X, it looks like a beast. So seeing it close up, it looks really great. Had lots of positive views from the shows as well. But it looks really nice, I've got to say, and it's just, yeah, some nice pictures there as well. And Ducati have done a decent job here of just showcasing what this bike can do and actually put it through its paces as well. But now what was it? I wanted to show you a few. Tech specs. There we go. So the tech specs. That's what we wanted. And it's basically got the chassis. Desert X was developed for the most demanding off-road. So this is not trail riding here we're talking about. We're talking a bike that is rally raid capable, in that it will go anywhere. It'll go road, obviously. It's big enough to do longer distances on the road or on trails, but this will go proper off-road. And this is what I talk about adventure bikes. If you're going to have an adventure bike, it's got to be able to do it properly. Yes, they can all do it properly, but this is going to be more suited to it. Anyway, so 21-inch spoke front wheel, 18-inch rear, generous ground clearance, various types of tyres available, up to those dedicated to the off-road world. Yes, you've got a lot of choice of tyres, and it just goes on through the spec. But I want to go through here. This is the engine specs here. They've made it to 1.7 kilos lighter. The Tesla Stretta 11 degree engine introduces improvements over the previous generation. It's got a 937cc engine, 110 horsepower, 92 newton meters, 202 kilos Dry weight, it's got 875mm seat height at its highest point, but with accessories you can lower that down to an 890, 865 or 845 with a special low suspension kit accessory as well. State-of-the-art electronics, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So for me, this is where Harley Davidson, with their 975 Pan America, if they reveal it on January the 18th, this is where the big challenge is going to come from. These guys here, Ducati. Now, because they're going to be comparable on price, they're going to be, but they're certainly going to be or very advanced in technology as well. This is possibly one of the big bikes of 2023 in that kind of off-road adventure riding world. This is the bike that people are talking about, that publications all around the world right now today are talking about as being the bike to watch out for. That doesn't necessarily mean, guys, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to translate into huge sales. What that means, it's going to translate into attention, into enthusiasm, and it's got a lot of enthusiasm already. So if you're looking for a challenger for the Pan America 975, which we don't know any of the details of, we don't know what it looks like, we don't know. I've tried to put my feelers out. I've tried to get a few contacts with for those a little bit closer to home. There hasn't been anything at all coming out, so we don't know if the 975 is essentially exactly the same as the 1250 Pan America, just with the 975 engine, or whether they've styled it differently, whether they put a different tank, whether they've narrowed it down a little bit, whether they've physically adjusted the frame, that kind of thing. We just don't know. All we know is that it's coming out, it's likely to come out. They've been talking about this for a long time. And, whether I personally think that, yes, it's good that they're coming down from the 1250. I think it could be good that they have a 975. I'm just wondering whether they could have come down a little bit smaller, or not have the same frame bike, just have a different, much smaller, compact mini adventure bike or mid-weight bike with a 700cc, 800cc type engine. With the Revolution Max engine, bring that down to a 700cc, which was always supposed to be the case. It was always supposed to be rumored to have a 500 and a 700cc, something like that, opportunity as well. Whether that will ever come off or not, we don't know. But this is the bike to watch out for 2023. It is the Desert X. This is the one from Ducati. This is the one where those of you who are big Harley Davidson fans, and whether you're not as well, the big talking point, as I've said before, the big talking point will be whether this new adventure bike from Harley Davidson, the 975, will it be as successful as the original Pan America, the 1250, and will it with its release, will it be able to compete with the other dominant manufacturers in the marketplace? And also, will it be able to compete with the new kid on the block, as it were, in terms of the brand new midweight motorcycle that many are tipping to be the bike of 2023? I'm not sure if it's going to be the bike of 2023, but I think it's going to be darn close. I think it's going to be very close to what people would see as the ultimate adventure bike. With an adventure bike as being not too heavy but not too light, that can do short distances and longer distances, but crucially can be used everywhere. And I think this is what people in the motorcycle world, let's say, have been looking for a long time. I would say a long time. Right. So that is basically the 2 points really I wanted to make here. Was that there's a big challenger for the Pan America 975. it's going to come from all the rest of the other manufacturers, as we know. The Triumphs, the BMWs, yes, the Ducati in this case, but definitely from KTMs, all the likes of KTM, Yamaha as well, that kind of thing. I suppose you could always throw into the mix Suzuki, because they've released the new midway ADV 800. You've also got Kawasaki with their Versys as well bike. So, there are established players in the market, but it's whether the Pan America 975 is going to be geared more towards a proper off-road segment, or is it more towards a trail riding big ADV? If it's geared more towards the proper off-road, as I would like to call it, very capable off-road, then I think the Desert X, the Ducati Desert X, is going to be the one that it butts up against quite quickly. I would say anyway. I mean, obviously, I can't be certain of that. Of course, I can't be certain of that. But we would like to imagine. We'd like to imagine that that could be the case. Right. Let me see if I can just get into some of your comments as well, and just see who's in here. I'm not expecting many people to be watching. Of course, I am expecting there to be. Oh, get rid of that. Let me just pop that out there. Unfortunately, on the screen that you're watching now, I can't really read that. My eyes aren't that good. Right, so let's just see there. There we go. Right. Let me just make sure that the websites. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, so I can see now the chat. Here we go. How about the 975 or 975 RRR? RRR. Dear sir, the market is nearer to the 400 750 cc. I would agree. I would agree, definitely. I mean, I think the Desert, this Ducati Desert X, I think if they'd made it even lighter, I think that would have been a major thing. This is my concern for Pan America now, the 975. I'm just wondering if they've come in too heavy on it, whether they should have come in a lot lighter. I would not be surprised, and this is my prediction for 2023 from Harley Davidson, okay? I would not be surprised if they, in collaboration with, and I'm going to give you a very early prediction, right? So this is my prediction for Harley Davidson for 2023, or I should say for the end of 2023. And this is hopefully, you'll see where I'm going with this. Harley Davidson will bring out a very, very capable, lightweight off-road motorcycle, right? In the region of about a 400cc, maybe even a 500cc, but it will be very capable, right? And I'll tell you why. The reason why they will bring out a brand new motorcycle is this: that they're teaming up, or they have teamed up with Hero motorcycle from India. Hero have been doing pretty well the last couple of years in the Dakar Rally, in that 400cc, 450cc sort of class. And I think this is where they're going to develop a bike. If the pressure comes from the fan base out there for Harley Davidson to come out, okay, even if it's an association with another brand, to come out with a bike like that, then then there we'll go. I think that's it. No, I'm not going to say CF Moto. I'm not going to say CF Moto. It's not CS Moto. CF Moto. I'm not going to see them. Only if you're a KTM fan would you have a CF Moto. I mean, they're talking about new bikes as well, new engines from for the KTM as well, and that's all coming from CF Moto collaboration as well for the LC8. So there's like another 900cc. I think I've got the story here somewhere. Let me just have a look, see what this is. No, that one. I might have got rid of the story. No, here it is. Let me just show you here. So patent filings emerged with a new 990cc KTM LC8C engine. The LC8 engine is slated for a major overhaul, according to patent filings made by KTM's Chinese partners at CF Moto. KTM LC8 platform has been around for a while now, since its original arrival on the 799cc engine. It was then expanded to the 890 range of motorcycles, and is now undergoing an almost complete overhaul in order to expand to 990cc. The new engine has already been tested in both a proposed 990 Duke as well as a highly anticipated RC 990. You know, that's an interesting one there. So look, no, but that's Ducati. KTM. They're making in. They've had collaborations with Chinese and also with the Indian manufacturers as well. As of Triumph, bear with me, I'm not 100% sure on Triumph. Certainly BMW as well have had that. And obviously now Harley Davidson with their initial collaboration with QJ Motor from China, but also with Hero. So look, if I could give you any prediction, and I don't like giving predictions, right? But if I had to give you that prediction for a lightweight, very capable 400cc, 500cc, 450, very off-road capable bike, I think it's going to come from Harley Davidson in collaboration with Hero Motorcycles, who have got pedigree in this. If you watch my programs and videos from a while ago, I always said that Harley Davidson, and I'd heard a rumor many months ago, and I made a video about it, and I kind of suppose if Harley Davidson did this, and heard a rumor that Harley Davidson were looking at the off-road sector and they wanted to get into it. And they're also, bearing in mind that they tried to get into the off-road sector with the other company that went bust. I made a video about that, but there's also a talk, well, could they make another motocrosser? Could they make another, as they did back in the AMF years? But I hadn't really thought about it then, and then I've been thinking about it recently, actually, and said, well, actually, since more and more news came out about the Hero tie-up, and obviously the bikes that they want to bring out at the end of 2023 into 2024 for the global market, this is now, then it looks like that there could be a very decent bike coming from this. Now, again, I have nobody's contacted me, and nobody said that this is the case. This is purely what I'm piecing together. 1 and 1 equals 3. Okay, 2 and 2 is 5. There is nothing here that I can say. But all I'm saying is, remember this. And in a year's time, come back to me if I'm right or wrong. And if I'm wrong, hold my hands up and say, yeah, it was only a prediction, because it is only a prediction. But if I'm right, then you can say, well, you can say what you like then, really, can't you? Because I would have been right. Yes, H-D Hero. Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be something. We'll have to see. I mean, look, I'm very interested to see how this H-D Harley Davidson and QJ Motor relationship develops. I'm more confident in the Harley Davidson Hero relationship than the Harley Davidson QJ Motor. Mostly because of the things that I was talking about the other day when they talk about when manufacturers within China, they copy each other's brands and they all copies each other's motorcycles and the designs. So I'm not sure that they're going to be that successful from and being able to keep the competition away from within their own marketplace, as it were, over there. So I've got a feeling that Harley Davidson will be much better suited to a Hero relationship. But there we go. I mean, that's it there. Okay, let's just get on to something else here as well. And I'm going to make this a very quick question because I don't really want to I don't really want to labour on the point, but let us know what you think. Okay, so the discussion of the day. Oh no, let me just roll that intro, shall we? Let me just roll that. Okay, that's enough of that. Right, so what's the story of Bike of Glory? What is my thought process today? I tell you, my thought process is this. Is this. You've got brand new motorcycles coming from Harley Davidson right now, as we know. Many of the dealerships, if you go online, many of the dealerships are saying, hey, look, we got the new motorcycles, the 2023 bikes, right? Great. They're trying to sell them, right? They're trying to sell them where they are, or they're trying to showcase. Hey, look, we got the new colour one. We got the new white sand pearl. We got the new whatever. Okay, so it's all coming out. So that's great. That's great. That's all marketing. What I don't agree with is when I saw before Christmas a very few Harley Davidson dealerships, and this was in the United States, were inviting people in to put in pre-orders on Annivesary bikes that nobody knew what those Annivesary bikes would be. They were guessing. I saw 3 ads, would you believe, 3 ads from different dealerships saying, come and put your money down, as it were, your pre-order for a Street Glide. I think it was Annivesary Street Glide, and the other one was something else. I can't remember what the other one was as well. So I thought, well, that's wrong. I mean, I don't blame the dealership in many ways for trying to generate interest and trying to generate, trying to get people in through the door. So they say, yeah, okay, we can get your custom early. So I don't blame them from that point of view. What I do blame, I suppose, or what I'll be surprised is if anybody took them up on the offer. I'll be very surprised but then again, people are strange. There's naught strange as folk, as the saying goes. There is naught as strange as folk, and this is where I think, well, how can you put down any money on a bike that you don't know anything about? You don't know what the Annivesary bikes are about. You don't, if you want to put money on a CVO down, you don't know what those CVO bikes are. So we're waiting on those Annivesary bikes, right? We're waiting on these CVO bikes. But we're also waiting on the brand new motorcycles, whatever they are now. Pan America 975, yes. The 350cc, the 500cc with a QJ Motor Chinese collaboration. Will that happen? Will that be in all markets or just in the Far East, right? So there's lots of different things. The Nightster S, the Breakout 117. Is that going to be the bike that everybody's going to go for, right? But here's the question. Here's a question. January the 18th, we will have the reveal, the launch party. How long will it be? How long will it be before these bikes arrive in the dealership? Now, you would imagine. In fact, it would be happening that these bikes would have already been produced. Yes, under under a cloak of secrecy. Everybody's tight-lipped. Nobody's allowed to say anything. You'll be shot if you even mention a word. And let's not even forget, and let's not even think about if you were sneaked out a picture or two, a photo or two. Which I think they should have done, to be honest. I think they should have done. But look, if let's just say these bikes are. Well, let's say we have 4 new bikes, 3 new bikes, 2, even if it's just 1, right? And they bring out the Bronx as well. They bring out 2 other Revolution Max. They bring out a Revolution Max Tourer. They bring out a Revolution Max Cruiser, whatever it is, right? And all the Annivesary bikes, and and I always said this, I've been saying this for weeks now, 2023, if they want it to be a success, it has to be shock, awe, wonder. It has to be something that people are going to go, wow, this is amazing. This is like a kid in a sweet shop. Oh, bikes, love it, right? This is what Harley Davidson needs to do to be successful. And I talked in the previous live stream of how I think they will be successful with the different strategies they're employing. But how long will it be before you get that bike in the dealership? And how long will it be before you can sit on it, take it for a test ride, and, so on and so forth? Now, for us in the UK and around Europe, it was months. It was quite a few months before the Pan America came out. It was quite a few months before the Sportster S and the Nightster came out. When I troll... troll, that's probably the wrong word. When I look at a lot of the publications from all around the world, it's interesting. Even up until the last few months, they were only just getting, some markets were only just getting the Sportster S, only still just getting the Pan America, only just getting the Nightster. So not everybody gets it at the same time. And obviously you would imagine United States, Canada, but especially United States, the home market, that's where is going to get it first. Europe being the next, this is United States and Canada, I would say. Yeah, Europe being the next big market, they will probably get very soon after. But I just wonder how long it's going to be. How long would you have to wait for that? Let's get into some of these comments. This will be the first year that I probably not buy an Annivesary Limited. I'm very interested to see what these Annivesary bikes are in 15 years. Well, and what are the colours? Well, we don't know. That's it. We just don't know any of this really. Nothing's been come out, and they've been very tight-lipped. I mean, I would say this is a criticism of Harley Davidson. I think that they should have whet the appetite a little bit. I think that they should have come out. If they'd approached me and they said, Alf, Revelator Alf, we need your help in marketing the Harley Davidsons, I think I would say, you're playing a very, very risky strategy by being tight-lipped. I think you need to be a little bit more expansive, a little bit more revealing, I think, ahead of time. But certainly on the bikes that they haven't revealed yet. Or we know the Annivesary bikes are coming, so let us have a little picture here or there. Let's have a little photo. Let's have a clue. Same with the CVOs. Let's have a little idea what's going on. You don't have to give any specifics, any technical specifications, any details, but just come out. So I just wonder how long this is going to take for these bikes to come out. So let's just say the biggest market, United States. How long will the dealerships get them? Which dealerships will get them first? And how long, if you're interested in a bike, how long will it take you to be able to sit on it? Because this is what happens, and this is what happened throughout the whole COVID period, and also this is what happened the last few months here with a lot of dealerships here from not only from Harley Davidson and many others. You might be interested in a bike. You go and go to your dealership or a dealership and you say, I'm really interested. I've spoken about this when I've been looking for tourers, right, touring bikes. But I'm never going to buy a bike unless I can't ride it first. No matter what salesman says to me, no matter what dealership says to me, no matter what a YouTube channel says, or whatever it is, okay? I don't believe in marketing, and I don't believe what other people tell me above what I would experience myself. Because riding a motorcycle is a very personal thing. It's a very subjective thing. And you can have the best bike in the world, and that bike will suit some people and it won't suit others. So when I go into a dealership and they say, well, you've already tried the Street Glide. I said, yeah, I tried the Street Glide, but I want to try the Road Glide. I want to try the Road King. But it's the same bike. No, it isn't. Completely different. Oh, it's the same chassis. Don't care. I don't care if it's the same chassis. Every bike rides differently. Every bike has a different feeling about it. So this is my point. How long are you going to have to wait for it? I've got a feeling that with the different bikes, you can have different wait times. And I think some bikes, I predict definitely the American dealerships will definitely see them a lot quicker. I dare say that some of the big dealerships have already had they've already been told now exactly what these new bikes are going to be, and they've already put their orders in. I think that, and these bikes are already on their way. Yes, that might sound a bit Machiavellian to me, but I'm convinced. I'm convinced because they always get very close to the time. They always find out exactly what's happening. And they always know what the strategy is, and then you want to hit the ground running, right? You don't want to be, the kid at the party, holding two empty glasses, as it were. You got to be ready to roll. You got to be ready to box, as it were. And if they're not ready, if they're not ready to go, then it's kind of a bit of wasted impetus, wasted momentum. But anyway, listen, let us know what you think about this. I think it's an interesting one. I think it's an interesting one to see how long we're going to have to wait and whether the problems for the last 2 years are going to manifest themselves in 2023. Whether you're going to see that or not. But listen, there is more news coming out this afternoon. I am digging into it. I need to verify it. I don't want to start letting you guys run away with the story when it's not true. So if it comes out, I'll come out with it tonight or tomorrow, if indeed it does come out. But let us know what you think about the new bikes. Are you Are you excited by the new bikes? Are you excited about the prospect of the new bikes? And how long do you think you have to wait? How long do you think you're going to have to wait? And are you prepared to wait? This is the question. I suppose that the question is, are you prepared to wait? Are you prepared to wait for these brand new bikes with the price tags that they're, obviously going to have? I said a few weeks ago, I said, if you're not concerned about having a brand new motorcycle, but you want a brand new street glide, let's say, or a brand new road glide, or whatever it is, I said the deal to be done was, a week or so ago, or just at the turn of the year, before the turn of the year, or the run up to Christmas, would say, get a 2022 bike. That's what I would have done. Get a 2022 bike. Or a 2021 bike, or a 2220 bike, it doesn't matter, right? But with low mileage, that's immaculate, all that sort of stuff, because you're going to be more than happy with that bike. But if you're adamant that you wanted to wait for a 2023 bike, then unfortunately, you're going to have to, you will now pay a premium on the price. You're probably going to pay a premium on the 2022 bike or 2021 bike as well, because of the new bike as well. And I just wonder, if there is the appetite out there for these new bikes. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interest. You got people like me who keep on spouting off about it, right? Trying to generate. Harley Davidson should pay me. They should pay me for the amount of content that I've been putting out and asking questions and trying to raise discussions and raise debate and all that sort of stuff. But I think that there's always going to be the interest. There's always going to be enthusiasm. And whether you like, the bikes, or whether you like the brand or the way it's gone the last few years, but there'll always be the interest there. It's whether that interest translates into sales and people getting on their bikes and using them. Now, I've been very critical of other YouTubers in the past, the last year or two, who have gone on these group promotional days from the manufacturers, whether it's Triumph, whether it's BMW, whether it's Harley Davidson, mostly that are doing it, right? They get all the current YouTubers or TikTokers or Instagrammers, and they say, come and ride our bikes, and they fly you out, and they, and this is not jealousy, because I think it would be a great fun day out, but it's always comes across as these are really independent reviews. No, they're not. They're not independent reviews. Because they can't be. They can't be independent reviews, because, you're in that place. It's almost like you're being paid for it. Whilst money may not, cross palms, as it were, it's still there. You're out there. Now, it's a fun day, don't get me wrong. And, I'm sure they're trying to be as honest as they can, but they've always got to be careful what they say, because they want to do it again, right? And there's no problem in that. But watch out. I would not be surprised if unless the manufacturers have felt the backlash from people like me who've been kind of critical of that process and said, actually, maybe we won't have these kind of launch YouTube content creator ride along parties anymore. We'll just do it in a different way. And it's but that, especially from Harley Davidson, they're only going to run these in the United States anyway. From BMW, they're going to do them in the United States, in the market that they want to break into. In Europe, sometimes they might fly out people to, Spain or somewhere where it's really warm, and they're, try and get them to do that. But again, they've got to be careful of what they say and how they say it, and that's the problem. So, as I say, for me, it doesn't matter what a YouTuber says or a website says or a blog says. It's just kind of reference information for me. You've got to appreciate it's just their insight of what they say. But the real insight, the real decision making from your point of view, from my point of view, is when you actually get on the bike or when you see it in the flesh for yourself, you're able to sit on it, and then you're able to take it for a test ride. And until you've done those three things, you've seen it, you've sat in it, and you've taken it for a test ride, you will not know if that bike is suited to you. And that's it. So this is the question I'm asking. How long will it be before you for a 2023 brand new motorcycle, not the ones that they've just released as carryover bikes. I'm talking about the brand new motorcycle. How long is it going to be before you're going to be able to, have a look at it, sit down in it, take it for a test ride, a proper test ride, for an hour, 2 hours, and have a really good idea, have time to think about it, and then decide, I'm going to pull the trigger and put my money down. How long will it be? Let us know in the comments below, but I will come back to you later on. I will come back to you if I've got this more news coming out. It's some big news, but say it may not turn into anything, because I haven't got it verified yet, and I'm not going to come out with something that I can't verify at this stage. But it's thanks for everybody in the chat coming in. I really appreciate it. Morris, thanks very much. Yeah, another thumbs up. Thank you. Really appreciate that. STVL, thank you very much for joining as well, and all your comments as well. I really appreciate that. I know it's early in the day, or where you guys are might be really early in the morning or late at night. So I needed to do this today. I waiting on a couple of the press conferences, press releases to come out. So I just need to verify the latest ones. But as I say, there's more news coming out, and all I can say it's been emotional. And I'll catch you again. Bye now.